Good morning, all. Today I am discussing about merit rating. So, merit rating is the process of evaluating the relative merit of the person on a given job. That means how much merit you have to show in the given job. So, the person, that means it is nothing but how much efficiency and effort he is putting in that job. That is nothing but merit. Okay, so that means meritorious and non-meritorious. Those who are meritorious employees and non-meritorious employees, then you have to identify with merit rating. Okay, so that means merit students and non-merit students like this. So from our side, example is merit students and non-merit students. So those who are showing better performance in the examinations and the remaining things in the remaining aspects, then you will be treated as a merit student. And after that, those who are not studying well and also they are not participating in the activities, then you are a non-meritorious students. Then it is an essential task of the personal manager to distinguish the meritorious employees from the other. So this is very important for the very important task for the human resource manager. Yeah, he is divided the merit employees and non-merit employees. Okay, so then the data collected from this task is used for strategic decisions such as releasing an increment in pay, promotion, transfer and transfer on promotion to a critical assignment or even discharge. Okay, suppose this data is very important to take the strategic decisions related to the employee, promotion and increments and also transfer and a transfer with promotion, and also you have to give critical assignments, then even discharge. That means you have to remove the employee, then you need the merit rating. So with merit rating data, then you have to take these decisions in a easiest manner, and also you have to justify your decision with this merit rating. So I am doing the right thing. So in this way, we are giving that person to that person some more increment, and also we are giving promotion based on this criteria, and also transfers and also critical assignments and also even discharge. So then you have to justify your relation with the merit rating. Okay, then objectives of the merit rating. So what are the objectives of the merit rating? So to determine salary increments, first you have to, what is the major first objective is, you have to determine the salary increments. So how much you have to increase the salary. So for each and every person, so you have to design some criteria based on the merit rating. So then to decide who has to be transferred, promoted or demoted. For other under after that, you have to decide who has to be transferred. Okay, so who has to be transferred and also who has to be promoted and also who are demoted. Then to discover the workers needs for retaining and advanced training. Suppose those who are suppose those who are not non-meritorious employees, then you have to conduct a training program and advancement training. So then you have to make them all to employees, then they are improving their skills and uh, efficiency. Okay, then ultimately you are getting productivity. So improve productivity. Then to unfold the exceptional skills among the employees based on their innate potentials. So some of the employees have the potentiality, but they are not uh, uh, they are not utilize 100% efficiency of them, of their potentiality, from their potentiality. So then you have to motivate them and also have to try to improve their efficiency according to their potentiality. Okay, so then to guide and monitor the performance of those who are lagging behind. So some of them are in lagging in their performances, then you have to motivate them and also guide them how to improve their performances. So this is the objectives of merit rating. Then after that, methods of merit rating. Okay, so methods of merit rating means ranking method. Okay, so under this first one is ranking method. So in this method, all the staff of a particular cadre or a department are arranged either in the ascending or the descending order, same like as in performance appraisal also. So we have to arrange them in a arranged the all the staff in a ascending order or a descending order in order of merit or value to the firm. So based on the merit and also how much the value created for the firm. Though this is a simple method, it cannot be followed where the employees in the department are many in number. So it cannot be followed where the employees in the department are many in number. So this is not possible for there is huge number of employees are there. Then you have to put them into order. Then you have to analyze them. That is very difficult task. So whether if you have a low number of employees, then it is possible. Then after that, paired comparison method. So this is also same thing. So then you have to divide the employees into groups, equal groups. Then you have to comparison with one with another. So from group one, first one, then group two, say first one, then group one, second one, group two, second one, group one, third member, and group two, third member. Just like this, you have to comparison each and every employee. So then you have to the rater can decide which of the employees is more valuable to the organization. Then in this way, the rater is giving the rating. Then after that, he is identified who are useful for the organization. Those who are employees are useful for the organization and valuable for the organization. Okay, so after that, rating scale. So rating scale, here the factors dealing with the quantity and quality of work are listed and rated. So the factors are dealing with the quantity and quality of work are listed and rated. So based on the quantity of the work and quality of the work, then the rating is given. So a numerical value may be assigned to each factor and the factors could be weighted in the order of their relative importance. So there is a numeric value is assigned for each and every factor and based on their weight and relative importance. All the variables are measured against a 3 or 5 point scale. So 3 points and 5 points scales are there. So 5-point rating and 3 point, that means just like star rating. Suppose you are purchasing a mobile, they are asking for a rating. So in all aspects, suppose mobile camera, how you are rating, and how much you are rating, and for a display how much you are rating, and processor how much you are rating, and sound how much you are rating, so and connectivity how much you are rating. So based on the things which are involved in that product or something, then the points will be increased and everything you have to give the rating. So then in this way, each and every factor you have to give the assign some numerical value. Suppose you are giving one, and suppose for second factor you have to give three, and third factor you have to give four, and fifth factor you have to give four. Then based on this, all the raters, suppose all the ratings are after completing, then you have to get the sum of the average value, numerical value out of this all the factors. Then each and every as rated with some numerical value. So comparison with the numerical values, which one is getting more value, then more points in the rating, then he will be treated as a good employee, and those persons are showing a good performance in their jobs. Then after that, forced distribution method. So forced distribution method, here employees are given a set of alternatives and they have to choose one. So employees are given a set of alternatives. In this method, employees are given a set of alternatives and they have to choose one. So under this, they have to choose one. Which alternative they have to choose. Based on that, then you have to understand what the employee perception and how they are thinking about their job and how they are handling the situation. So based on his answers and based on his selection, then you have to identify how he is understanding his job. Okay, what is the true nature of the job? Okay, so their thinking is conditioned by the given set of answers. So we are giving we are assigning a different suppose we are giving a different alternative set of alternatives then he is selecting some of them. So based on his answers, then how the employee is thinking about his job and how much he is understanding the nature of his job. Okay, in this way we are analyzing the employee perception. So that is forced distribution method. So after that, narrate or essay method. So in this method, here the candidate is required to narrate in an essay format his or her strength, weaknesses, and potential to perform. So you are giving a task to the employee. So for each and everybody, they are writing about themselves. Okay, what is his strengths and what is his weaknesses and what is his potentials and what is his uh, weaknesses and how much he uh, how much he is performed. So based on all these things, he writes something about himself. So here the candidate is not restricted by any given set of alternatives. Here the management or manager is not giving any alternatives. So there is a freedom to the employee, given to the employee. Then he is directly writing what is his own perception. So he write himself about himself. The candidate is free to decide what to furnish or what not to furnish. So then he tries in his own way how to describe himself. So then ultimately he expresses all his views based on the perception of the employee. Okay. From this from after writing, then you read it. The rater is the rater is read the total description of the what he is writing the employee. Then he is able to understand what the perception of the employee. So then is there any wrong conceptions of the employee? Then he is try to remove them and to guide how to resolve the issues which is faced in the job and guide them and how to motivate them. Okay. Then after that, management by objectives MBO. So the short-term objectives mutually agreed upon by the management and the employees are used as performance standards. So in this MBO, there is short-term objectives are mutually agreed upon the management and the employees. There is an agreement in between the management and employee. There is a short-term objectives. So within this period, then you have to achieve these ones, and also used as performance standards. So then you have to achieve the objectives. Then you will show a good performance. Otherwise, you will not show a good performance in the jobs based on the objectives you have to achieve. Then the performance will be calculated. So this method considers the actual performance as the basis for evaluation. It is a systematic method of goal setting. So it is a systematic method for goal setting. In addition, it provides for reviewing performance based on results rather than personality traits on characteristics. So it is purely based on the results. It is not based on the personality traits and personality and characteristics of the person. So however, this is not practical at all levels and for all kinds of work in the organizations. So this is not suitable for all. So in some situations it is useful. So in some conditions it is not suitable for that situations. So based on some criteria, you have to use them. Okay. So then so this is about merit rating. So then part two from your your unit 3. So that is marketing management. So marketing management is the second part of this unit. So only some topics are there, not all. So very few topics are there in this topic. Okay. So a definition. So marketing definition. What is the definition of marketing? So Philip Kotler's definition of marketing is okay. So Philip Kotler's definition of marketing, because he is the father of the marketing. So Philip Kotler, he write a book on marketing. So this is a world famous book. So every marketing people or those who are studying about marketing, they must read this book. So this is like as a Bible of marketing. So Philip Kotler. So marketing is a social and managerial process by which individuals and groups obtain what they need and want through creating and exchanging products and value with others. So marketing is a social and managerial process. It is nothing but a social and managerial process by which individuals and groups obtain what they need and want through creating and exchanging products and value with each other. Okay, so which individuals and groups obtain what they need. Okay, so in the marketing, we are forming a groups. Okay, so the team, there is a marketing teams are established in the organization, and they are what the task of that groups is, they are exchanging products and value with other. Okay, suppose I am purchasing a product, then I the person, suppose the manufacturer is giving that product to me, then I am giving some money to that manufacturer. Okay, suppose you went to a shop, suppose you purchase a soap, then you collect the soap from the shop owner or retailer, then you have to pay the money for it. Okay, that is nothing but there is a exchange of value. So you are getting the product and you are giving money. That is nothing but you have to pay the money. For what purpose? There is a value for that product. You have to replace the value with the money. Okay, so I think all of you able to understand. Okay, suppose why when you are purchasing a product, why you are paying the money? Because the product gives some value to you. Okay, so then you have to pay the value of the product. Okay, so that is important thing. Every product has some value, so otherwise it is not called as a product. Okay, so because every product gives some value to the customer, then you have to pay the money for that value only. Okay, so that is the Philip Kotler definition. And second one, the American Marketing Association defined marketing as, okay, so the American Marketing Association defined the marketing as the performance of business activities that direct the flow of goods and services from producers to consumer user. Okay, so the performance of business activities, okay, that direct the flow of goods. That means marketing means they basically what is going on. So there is a direct the flow of goods and services from producers to consumer or user. So those who are the manufacturers are producing the products, the products are transferred to consumer, sorry, producers to consumer. That is nothing but marketing. Okay, so the products are transferred from producers to consumer, then the producer giving the product and consumer are giving the money to the producer. So in this way the marketing is going on. Okay, so in other words of Cundiff and Still, so these people are giving, these two people are giving some definition. So marketing is the term used to describe collectively those business functions most directly concerned with the demand stimulating and demand fulfilling activities of the business enterprise. Okay, so the meaning of this marketing is describe correct, used to describe collectively those business functions. So what are the business functions? Those are describing in a collectively and used them is as collectively most directly concerned with the demand stimulating. That means you have to create the demand for that for your product. So nobody is creating a demand for your product. You have to create your product yourself. You have to create the demand for product yourself and demand fulfilling. And also after that you are creating the demand. After that you have to create the, sorry, you have to fulfill the demand active fulfilling activities. That means what is the demand is there exactly, then you have to produce that much amount and also you have to distribute at right time. That is very very important thing in the marketing. So are unable to serve or deliver the product according to the demand, then you ultimately are getting the loss. Okay, then you have to fulfill the demand. Okay, so demand fulfilling activities of the business enterprise. Okay, so that is the definition of Cundiff and Still. Then selling versus marketing. So generally in our basic assumption, all of you are assuming both selling and marketing are same, but there is a difference in between marketing and selling. Okay, so selling refers to the act of transferring the ownership of the goods and services from the seller to the buyer. That means the ownership is transferred from seller to buyer. Okay, either goods or services, that is nothing but called as selling. So whereas marketing refers to the whole process encompassing the entire range of activities, starting from identifying the customer's requirements to satisfying these in a mutually beneficial manner. So in the selling, we are not thinking about the customer or the buyer perception. What is the requirement of the buyer? Okay, but in the marketing, we are identifying the customer's requirements and have to fulfill the customer requirements and have to satisfy them. That is mutually beneficial manner. That is beneficial to both the seller and the buyer. But in the selling, we need not consider, we are not considering these requirements. What are the requirements of the consumer? We are only focusing on only selling. Okay, but in the marketing, we are not focusing on the selling, but we are focusing on the customer requirements and how to satisfy the customer requirements. The main focus is on in marketing. Okay, this is the main focus on marketing. Okay, so this is the difference in between selling versus marketing. Okay, so selling is different, marketing is different. Then, so there is a differences between marketing and selling. So selling, product enjoys the supreme importance. In the selling, there is a top priority for the product. Then in the marketing, the customer is the top priority, because according to the customer requirement, you have to make the product. But in the selling, you need not considering the important, you need not give important to the customer's requirements, but your product, there is a product, you have to sell that. Suppose what is the best example is, suppose you went to a vegetable market, then there is an option for you. Then there is lot of varieties are there. There are a lot of shops are there, but you need you are definitely purchase vegetables. There is no another option. Okay, so whether you are satisfied or not, but you have to purchase. Suppose the price is very high, there is no alternative. Then you must buy it because you eat something and you cook something for your food. Okay, so otherwise there is no chance to eat something. Suppose there is no meals for that day. Okay, so that's why you must purchase. Suppose if you are taking an oil right now, so because the oil prices are very high, but you are ready to buy, because some of your expenses are you have to decrease, then you have to put them into oil. Okay, that amount into put that amount into oil, on oil. Okay, so in this way there is some supreme important products are there. That means there is a need, must have to use that. Okay, so there is no alternative, then there is no option. Okay, so you focus on that product, then that is selling. So then marketing, their customer enjoys unique importance. Suppose for considering as a TV or mobile, there is not a need. So there is a need for it, but there is some time extent. So immediately you don't focus on that. Okay, so there is no need of that immediately, because that is not a daily usage product you are using. But without that, there is no problem in your life. Okay, but you need something. Suppose if you take some vegetables and milk and some rice, so these are essentials for daily life. Okay, these are the very essential in daily life. But TV and refrigerator or something or AC, these are not a compulsory requirement for human being. Okay, so that is the difference. So the customer enjoys unique importance. Okay, so that's why these companies are attracting the customer. They are giving some of the features that are attracting the customers, those who want to buy. So that is marketing. Then emphasis on company sellers needs, selling in selling. So emphasis on company needs. So in selling, the management is mainly focusing on the company needs. Then in the marketing, emphasis on marketing customer needs. Okay, in this customers needs, they are focusing on the customers needs. So in selling, company oriented selling effects. Okay, so company oriented selling effects, then market oriented selling effects. So it is based on market, it is based on company. Then selling, goods are already produced and then sold as profit. Already there are production, goods are produced, and then you have to sell them for sold as a profit. Okay, so you are getting a profit after selling. So in the marketing, customers demand determines production supply is adjusted to demand. Okay, so customer's demand determines production supply is adjusted to demand. Okay, so production supply is adjusted to demand. That means uh, according to the demand you have to supply. Okay, so you have, if you have a demand, then you are then you have to go for production and you have to supply that product, otherwise there is no use. But in the selling, goods are already produced and sold, after sold, then you are getting a profit. But in the case of marketing, there is a need, or there is a demand for the product, then only you have to produce that product, otherwise you are getting losses. Why you are producing the product? Because the customers are not ready to buy this product. Why you are producing this product? So there is no need. Otherwise you are not considering the customer's demand, then your production is waste. Okay, that is stagnated, that is in the stores, then there is no use at all, and you have to put lot of investment on that, then you lost interest also. Okay, so based on the demand, you have to produce and you have to supply. Okay, so that is the marketing. Then selling aims at short term objectives. Okay, selling aims at short term objectives, because selling is focusing on only short term objectives. So then marketing aims at long term objectives, because marketing having the long term, because the customer's perception and customers needs, then it is a long term objectives, it has a long term objectives. Then in selling, top priority is given to sales volume rather than profits increasing scales. Okay, so the top priority is given to the sales volume, how to improve the sales volume. So how to improve the sales and how to improve the profits, how to increase the profits, they are mainly focusing on uh, these two things only in selling. And coming into the market, top priority is given to profitable volume of sales and market share at fair prices and reasonable risk. Okay, so in this, top priority is given to profitable volume of sales and market share at fair prices. Okay, they are not focusing on only profit, they are getting minimum profits, but they are focusing on the how to improve the market share and also with fair prices and also reasonable risk. Okay, then in selling, it is production oriented, it is only focusing on production and how to produce and based on production. And but in the marketing, customer orientation. Okay, so these are the major differences in between selling and the marketing. Okay, so this is the important topic in the marketing. So after that, marketing is also one of the function in the management. So some definitions, some points are there in the marketing function. So first one is buying. So the marketing is function is fulfilled with only basic tools, based on two things. So buying and selling, these are the major important things in the marketing function. Without this, there is no marketing. So without buying and selling, there is no marketing. That's why these two important factors, important components in the marketing function. So buying. So buying involves both the marketing and the customers. So buying involves both the marketing and the customers. So without marketing, that means customers, and there is a marketing. So that is nothing but buying. So the marketing manager must know about the type of customers, their consuming habits, demands, and buying pattern. So the marketing manager, he must knows about the type of customers and also their consuming habits. That means how they are consuming, what are the habits they have, consuming habits. So then demands and buying pattern, what is the demands of the, how is the demand, and also what is the buying pattern, how the buyer buying the product. That means there is some patterns, some differences are there from person to person, then you have to identify that buying patterns also, that is comes under buying. So under this selling, it creates a demand for a product, selling function involves. So selling is nothing but it creates a, we create a demand artificially. So there is no demand for that product, because you have to create the demand for it. Then product planning and development. First you have to product plan and development. You have to develop a plan, and also you have to ready a plan, and design a plan, and also you have to develop that product according to your plan. Then finding out or locating buyers. Out that very important thing is your based on your product, you have to identify your customers. Those are purchasing your product. Then you have to, that is nothing but called as target customers. Then you need to identify them. Who are the target customers of your product? That is very important thing. And third one is demand creation through salesmanship, advertising, and sales promotion. After that, you have to create the demand for your product with the use of salesmen and advertisements and also sales promotions. And fourth one is negotiation of terms of sales, such as price, quantity, and quality, etc. After that, there is some negotiations on price. So suppose you are offering some price, but the customer is not ready for that price by your product, then quantity and quality also. So how much quantity you have to offer and how much quality you are giving. So then these are also very important. Based on these things, there is a negotiation terms are developed. So this is selling. So after that, in marketing function, there are another component, transporting. Transporting is another major component of the marketing function. So it involves the creation of place utility. In order to have value, goods must first be transported from the place they are produced to the place where they are needed. So from producers to consumer, you have to transfer the product from producer to consumer. Then only they are reach the customer. So the main purpose of the marketing is you have to transfer the product from production place to the place they are needed. That means the product they are needed. Okay, so you have to reach that product. You have to deliver that product to customer. That is nothing but transfer. For that purpose, there is a need of transporting. So that is another important component. Then storage. After producing your products, then you have to store the product in a safe manner. So without any damage or until and unless they have to dispatch. Okay, so up to dispatch, the responsibility, the damage for the damage and all things, you have to take the responsibility. The manufacturer only take the responsibility. So after delivering the product, you don't have the responsibility for the damages. Up to delivering the product to the customer, there is a there is a responsibility of the owner or manufacturer. Then the storage is very important. You have to maintaining the raw material and components, etc. According to the production schedules. Then have to safely store the product, and without any damage, you have to send the product to the customer. So up to dispatch, the responsibility of the product is uh, owner's responsibility. Okay. So then standardization and grouping. After that, you have to according to the standards. That means based on the quality, then standards. Then you have to divide the products and grouped the products into grade A products, grade B products, grade C products. So based on this grade A products, you have to put them into single place. After that, remaining B grade all put them into single place, and C grade products are given, put them into single place. According to that, then you have to standardize based on the standard. Then you have to group the products. Okay, based on the gradings. That is very important. Okay, based on the grade, then you have to decide the price. So grade A are having the high price, and B have some less price, and C some have some less price rather than A and B. So then finance is another important, because it is the lifeblood of the business. Without finance and money, we are not running a business. Suppose finance department is not releasing the funds for the marketing, then you are unable to produce and you are unable to marketing the product. So then there is a very important thing is a finance thing, that is called as the lifeblood. So finance is the lifeblood of business. Value of goods is expressed is money, and it donated by price to be paid by buyer to seller. Credit is necessary in marketing. So some credit is also, credit facility are provided. So because all they are not paying the money while purchasing, then you are providing the credit facility, and also you are also take credits from the sell from the suppliers, raw material suppliers, all others. In this way, there is a credit and cash payments are there, then you have to provide all of them. Then after that, marketing research, that is very, very important thing. So without research, you are unable to introduce the new products, and you are also now you are unable to attract the customers. So for your products, for your suppose you are unable to attract the customers to buy your products. So for that purpose, you have to conduct a marketing research. What is the customer requirements and how the prices are there, your competitors. So is there any technologies used your competitors, and also how the competition is in the market. Then you have to able to know all these things. Okay, so then you have to must study trends in the market demand and supply, prices and related market information. And the knowledge about the latest market information may help the firm to reduce risk, loss in purchasing and pricing, in forecasting market demand, and in facing competition in the market. Okay, so you have to collect all the information from the market. Then only you have to getting a you are developing a strategy how to handle the situation. Okay, so this is about marketing function and components of the marketing function. Okay, so that's it.